Well, now, here in this very gripping parable where you're left, you just have to hear every word to the end. The Rebbe Rabbi Nachman has given us a whole pathway of how to deal with adversity, because this is exactly what happens. We're all being tried and tested every day of our lives, every situation, every moment, with all kinds of circumstances that are cropping up in the home and outside the home, at work and everywhere else on the international scene. And there's only one way to deal with it, and this is what Rabbi Nachman actually brings over in the story after each of the episodes, where the way that the fixer gets by is because he's able to fix his own perceptions. In other words, when the Rebbe tells us that he can fix anything, first and foremost, he's able to make a gestalt jump out of his pre-existing conception. My job as a fixer, I've got to go and find things to fix today. And he's able to jump out of that and to see that, oh, there's a guy chopping wood, here's my opportunity. He's a very, very opportunist individual, but his opportunism is not, well, let's try this or let's try that. He knows exactly what he wants to do. He wants to serve God with joy, like every follower of Rabbi Nachman should do, to eat and drink and be happy with what you have. But when you don't have it, you have to make that gestalt jump to recognize that God has, within the darkness, within the obstacles, actually given you a gift. You have to understand that within the obstacles, within the darkness, God has given you a gift. And this is a message that we have to internalize. I read that story many years before I began to get a glimmer of a sense of what it might be about. I saw the story, I read it. It did not do anything for me like the way that other stories of Rebbe Nachman had enchanted me and opened up horizons. This one, it was really closed up until, as happens always with Rebbe Nachman teachings, that you are in some kind of situation and you realize that you're completely stumped. And here he's already provided you with the remedy. Here he's provided you with the understanding that what is required is this jump in self-perception and perception of the situation around. I think this is alluded to in the section of the story where, when the man finds out he can't fix utensils anymore, he sees somebody chopping wood. Well, wood and chopping wood is actually a metaphor in the Talmud and in the Zohar for the heart that won't take fire on the altar of the service of God. And if the wood won't take fire, there's only one way to correct that, that's to chop it up. If because of your preconceived ideas, the stiffness of your existing perceptions, you can't get what is needed of you, you've got to chop it up, you've got to break it up into little pieces and reorganize, to rethink. And in the successive stages of the story, I think we see that what we have to do is to advance deeper into humility. And the element of bitachon, of trust in this story, is that we must trust God, that within the situation He has sent us, with all of its apparent obstacles and barriers and difficulties and challenges, within that situation, that is the best possible situation I could be in now for me to get to the next level. And all it takes is for me to have the humility to ask God to give me a clearer, truer perception of the situation, and that way I can exploit it for its true value.